Well, I was just going to say good afternoon, son-in-law.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you don't mind if I have a little tea?
No, have tea. I think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is pretty cool. There are two things that make Tim awesome. This is Tim Jokel, and one thing that makes him awesome is that he is a ranger, and that makes him like this awesome. What makes him this awesome is that he's Whitney's dad. That's probably the highest honor. I mean, ranger's pretty cool, but to be Whitney's dad.
Well, the good Lord bless me.
That is true.
All right, just a quick timeout from the video. You'll notice throughout this entire thing that Tim's tone never changes. And as we began discussing his experiences over in Vietnam, he had a memory that he shared with me that was pretty brutal. And he shared it equally as calmly as he does the rest of this interview, but it was a story that sort of changed him while he was over there. It was a story of discovering some of his friends that had been mutilated and killed, and he found their bodies on a rescue mission. They went in to try and save these guys, but what they found was pretty disturbing. He describes it in detail, but it's a little more extreme than I felt like including in the video. And so I'm just letting you know what happened so it makes sense what he says next.
What are your thoughts like? I mean, I know there's thoughts of revenge and there's thoughts of getting back and there's thoughts of anger, but you gotta keep yourself somewhat under control in order to execute your training.
Yeah.
Right? How do you keep your head in the game when faced with something that would, rattle most of us to our core?
You learn to breathe deeply.
Okay. No, that's great.
I did do that. And what I tried to do was forget that whole incident because that was pretty traumatic.
Any other like techniques or mindset thoughts kind of that the Rangers gave you that kind of helped you?
Well, the motto was Rangers lead the way.
Mm-hmm.
And what we did was we were the reconnaissance for the 1st Cavalry Division, Air Mobile. Well, actually, we were the most highly decorated Ranger company in the history of the Vietnam War, and which I didn't know until like 8 years after.
Right, of course. Not tracking it while you're out there.
Right, no.
No scoreboard.
No. And so anyway, I found that really amazing,
Mm-hmm.
and
do you remember anything that you would be thinking, like if you think about the night before you went to Cambodia or when you knew you were going out, did you get nervous or anything?
No, actually, I tried to just rest. I guess getting ready meant you wanted to be loose. You wanted to be ready for anything and not get panicked by anything. So it was just rest and I think it was kind of a meditation that you do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I didn't know what meditation was.
Right.
But you just kind of relax.
I know that motto is that the Rangers lead the way. That's a big deal in the military.
Well, it's just a fact of life. That's what we did. We just did it. You didn't think about it. You just did it because you were there. That was your mission. And
I am curious if you have a memory of the time that you were sort of most fearful about what was ahead of you. And I know this idea that Rangers lead the way, you're going to do what you have to do, but there's got to be some time when you were like really not wanting to do it and you got yourself to do it. How did you get yourself to do it?
Well, that was real simple. Do you want to live or do you want to die? And I remember a particular mission that in Cambodia, we had it's called E&E, Escape and Evade. And we were overwhelmed by this large group of NVA. And these guys were seasoned combat. You could tell just by how they carried their guns, and they didn't wear their uniforms, blouse, and they were jungle fighters. And I was going, oh God, they've seen us. So we had the E&E and we all split this way, and then we, the radio man calls and we have a preset for extraction point on an E&E. So we were going to this. We all knew where we were going to this one clearing, so the helicopter could land and get us out. Boy, I tell you, we just barely made that because they were as we're taking off. Just because you can't with 5 men, you don't.
Right.
So you kind of go like this and just barely make the trees. Bullet holes, poof, poof, in the fuselage of the helicopter. Doo, 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 doo. And I'm going, man, one of these is probably going to hit me. And never did, but boy, I tell you, that was probably one of the scariest times because you were helpless. You couldn't.
Right.
You couldn't do anything. It didn't do any good to shoot back, even though we did shoot.
Right.
It didn't matter to them. They were going to get us.
Yeah. So in that moment when you realize, oh no, they saw us and these guys are the real deal, I know that in your mind, you're like, well, there's only one option. It's only live or die, and I choose to live. But the truth is that it would be possible for somebody else to panic, right? Just absolutely. How did you prevent that? Was it just your training, or did you have a technique or something?
Well, I'd already had a lot of experience,
Uh-huh.
and that helps a lot. I remember a mission in Cambodia. This poor guy, he made it through to the Rangers, and this is his first mission, and there was like a hardcore group of 12 MVA, and they had the path, the trail goes like this, and then it goes down below a hill, and they had the advantage of fire because they're behind the hill, and this new ranger, first mission, you couldn't blame him, I guess. Well, I did. But all of a sudden he goes, click, and that's the one thing in the jungle you don't hear is a metallic click. Well, he went off of safe because we always kept everything on safe until we needed it. Well, he went click, which the metallic sound, every one of those 12 guys, and I'm going, oh my God. And luckily, I could throw a grenade pretty good. So I lobbed him over to the other side of the hill, and I could see a rifle go this way. We got out of there all right, but boy, I thought that was going to be it. I really did.
And what about after? After you got out, do you still you still have this lead the way mindset?
Two funny things that. I had my DD-214, which showed and I'd gotten quite a few medals in Vietnam. And the first thing that happened was they gave me all these medals, and this sergeant came up to me. He goes, "You take those off." I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "You come with me," and he took me into this captain's office at the where we got our uniforms and everything. And he said, "Can I see your DD-214?" I said, "Yes, sir." And I had it right there, and I handed it to him, and he goes, boy, you must have done real well over there, son." I said, "Well, I did what I had to do, sir." And he said, "Well, you're dismissed." And to the sergeant, he goes, "Not you, Sergeant." He walked out of there with his stripes gone, which a officer can do to an enlisted man. He can take him right there, And that guy walked out, and he looked at me, and he just bowed his head and walked, because now I outranked him.
Right. But he thought you were faking it with the medals?
Or so, yeah. Why would I do that?
Yeah, he thought you were trying to show off some medals that you didn't actually have, but you had the paperwork that said.
Yeah, well, it was everything that everything that I still have, that I've, I didn't say, well, I need a medal for that.
Right, of course.
I want one for this too. It just, when I got the DD-214, the clerk that was typing it up, he goes, you know, I don't think we're going to fit all this in the space we got for the So he added a page, an addendum page, and finished it up there. But that was quite a different kind of a deal.
Uh-huh.